If you're an F1 fan and you've been watching F1 in the recent years, you'll probably be familiar with the name Charles Leclerc, seeing as there's nothing else to talk about on this channel at the moment because there is no F1 happening. I'm going to make another episode in my F1 2020 Driver Stories series. Love it or hate it. You don't have to watch if you don't want to, but you clicked on the video. I suggest you watch it. I really need the views. I mean, like, I don't get many views. Yeah, help me. Charles Leclerc was born on the 16th of November 1997. His dad was Hervé Leclerc, who also quite liked motorsport. He wasn't as successful, arguably, as his son, but he did race in Formula 3 in the 90s and the 80s. And I didn't even know that existed back then, but that's because I wasn't alive. He is Monegasque. If you don't know what that means he is from the region of Monaco, which is in the bottom of France. It's very nice, and there's a lot of rich people there. And it's also got one of the most famous Grand Prix there, so that's pretty cool too. He lives about a couple of miles from the actual Grand Prix. So far in his career, he's had 2 F1 teams. He's raced for Alfa Romeo Sauber in 2018 and Ferrari in 2019, and we sort of raced for them this year, but not really. Anyway, he's on contract with them until 2024. He started his career, as with every other driver in the grid, in go-karts. And he started age 4, nice and young. Get him started young, that's what they all say. And it took him 3 years to build up some confidence, but then he won his first race, aged 7. He was dominant in karting for the next 10 years after that. And he signed to the Ferrari Academy in 2016. He went on to win the GP3 championship. That is now called Formula 3. But, yeah, he won that. And then he went on to F2. He went on to win the Formula 2 title with 3 rounds to spare, claiming a record 7 wins, which is a lot. He debuted in F1 with Haas in 2016, and then he did not race, He did another test day for Sauber in 2017, but he had his debut Formula 1 full season with Sauber in 2018. In that 2018 season, his best finish was 6th in Baku. Also in that 2018 season, you know the big flip-flop thing on the front of the car, the halo? Yeah, that saved his life when Fernando Alonso inconveniently drove his car right over the top of Charles Leclerc's car. So, thank God for the halo. He took his first ever pole position of his whole career in Bahrain, which was the second race of the 2019 season, so he was driving for Ferrari, which makes sense. And then he went on to take another 6 pole positions, which is the most of any F1 driver in 2019. And then, a year after the halo saved his life in 2018, he took his first ever F1 win off the back of him tragically losing one of his friends, Antoine Hubert. And most people in the world have heard about that. It wasn't a great day, that. He won again the very next race in Monza, but then it sort of went downhill for him. His worst races of 2019, arguably, they would be Brazil, where he crashed into his teammate, or got crashed into by his teammate. People still sort of debate about that. Personally, I think Vettel crashed into him, but people have their opinions, and each to their own. Another of his worst races would be Monaco. He still hasn't finished his own home Grand Prix, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, what can you do? I mean, Maybe one day. Maybe... Oh, wait, no, not this year. Yeah. 2021. We'll let him do it. So, yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Anyway, could he be a future world champion? Leave it in the comments below, and also tell me what video to make next, because I'm running out of ideas, as you can see by this terrible production quality. So yeah, anyway, thank you for putting up with this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.